There's this really interesting thing that I've been really kind of analyzing with a lot of guys is like, because Max over the weekend was like egging on the New Orleans crowd to be like, boo me up. I want it. You don't ever fucking get booed. But I mean, I can't recall a time, and I've been to fucking 70% of your fights in person. Like, who the fuck ever booed you?
The only time that really comes to mind, it was after my first stint in the UFC. I got there quick, had 2 losses, got cut. It was my second, because I had one fight right after. I fought my last UFC fight January 28th, 2012 against my good buddy Chris Camozzi.
Shout out to Chris.
It's a good friend of mine.
BKFC fighter now.
Light heavyweight champ. BKFC light heavyweight champ of the world. Chris Camozzi, just built for it, man. A tough ass compared to guys that have been through it to get to it. That was my last fight. Then I had another quick fight. This Billy Donovan kid, I think his name was. I might not be right, but I think it is. He was like 3.
It was Chicago, then St. Louis, right?
I fought in Valparaiso. Chicago was at the United Center, and then I fought in Valparaiso, Indiana. Crazy little town. If you're familiar, people are like, oh, don't go there. Anyway, I had a fight there, and I fought this dude 3-1, and I knocked him out first round, like 49 seconds. And then I had this fight at the Borgata Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City. And I fought Tim Williams. Dana White loved Tim Williams. He was 8-0 at the time. I was 7-1 or 7-2, and 2 losses in the UFC. And Tim Williams was ready to get in the UFC, and we fought. And he was the hometown kid.
Okay.
I've always said I love being the road warrior. I love going into somebody else's house and just relishing in that role. I love when my back's against the wall. I do my best work when my back is against the wall. And that is the only fight that it was pure hatred. There was so much shit talked online between fans, between other people. Again, people that don't necessarily matter, man. It's never the critic that counts. You'll never see a statue of a critic. I take that to heart.
Or a podcaster, for that matter.
It's never the critic that counts, but it's actually the man who's standing in the arena. And that was Tim Williams and I that night. And we didn't fight until like 12:30 a.m.
Which sucks.
It was the main event, East Coast. And that's another thing. That's a whole other conversation, is trying to, people don't realize all the fans are drinking beers. They're up there in a good attitude. They're high spirited. And now these these fighters are sitting in the back until midnight, and they got to go out there and perform. And they got to go be the best version of themselves while being nervous, while being under pressure, while having all these crazy thoughts and emotions. And anyway, I go out there. I beat Tim Williams in his hometown. The whole crowd's like, they're booing the hell out of me, man. And they're people are climbing the fence to get at me.
Really?
And it was crazy. I had to stay in the cage. They security had to walk me out. Like when they took me out of that casino, they took me through a back door, like a hidden exit back door, not to be around.
Like Colby Covington, Brazil status.
It got pretty violent, man. It got crazy. So that's the only other time. But now that we're on it, you're talking about being booed. That was one of the moments, and I conquered it. But when I fought my first Glory Kickboxing tournament, it was 3 fights in one night. It was
what Grand Prix was it again?
It was the first ever Glory World Series in America. They were trying to build Americans.
I don't know if you guys know the story. You should tell them how you got there too. That whole story is absurd.
Well, yeah. So what's crazy, dude, is I was training for an MMA fight against Andrew Sanchez. Andrew Sanchez, another up. And by the way, let me go back real quick. Sorry, Tim Williams did end up getting into the UFC. Had a decent career, had a few wins, had a few losses. Dana White loved him for whatever reason. He was kind of a scary, good-looking dude. Like he was well put together, and he had a okay career, but
I think you're a scary, good-looking dude.
Nothing. Yeah, well, thanks, Mike. Yeah. Nothing crazy, but so he didn't make it. So I was training for a fight with Andrew Sanchez, again, and so I gave Timmy Williams his first loss. Andrew Sanchez, another up-and-coming guy that later went on to have a great UFC career, fought Anthony Smith, fought all kinds of guys. Fights for the PFL now. And in fact, I just saw him Wednesday morning at Strength Conditioning. He's in Denver. It's crazy. It was a blast from the past. He came up. I was like, I thought that was you, man.
All good?
All good, man. There's not the thing about fighting. You share that respect, man. You go toe to toe with somebody. It brings out a whole mutual respect, right? And anyway, so I was training for a fight with Andrew Sanchez, who I later beat, but it was a Wednesday. I had just got done sparring. My buddy Brian Foster from Oklahoma calls me up. I just walked off the mat. Shout out Brian Foster, one of the baddest dudes on the planet. And he calls me up. He's like, hey, bro, there's a kickboxing match. He's like, a guy just fell out. It's at 209 pounds, about what I walk around at the time, even maybe right now. And he was like, dude, the winner gets $20K. And I was like,
you scared the shit out of me.
I was like, say less, dude. What? I jumped in my car. This was on Wednesday. Thursday morning, I called up a couple buddies, my buddy Ryan Molahan, my buddy Jeff Cox. I was like, you guys want to go to Tulsa, Oklahoma with me, enter this kickboxing tournament? I drove the whole way, my Chrysler 300, drove down there. I was driving, and we knew nothing about kickboxing, but I was like, fuck, we'll just go spar. Like I'll just fight standing up. Like this is my thing. Sure. This is my jam. And so we're going down and we're reading about who's in the tournament. And
that's ridiculous. You're doing your background while you're driving.
While I'm driving, they're like, this guy named Randy Blake. He was 27-1, and his only loss was 3 months prior to Mirko Krokop.
And he fought Mirko?
Mirko Krokop, and it was in Croatia. So
if you don't know who that is, real quick, that is one of the scariest men ever. Oh, if you don't know who that is,
you're definitely a casual. Yes. You don't even watch the sport.
God, look at the standoff between him and Fabrizio, right?
Fabrizio Verdum, yeah.
Wow.
So, and he lost a decision to him that was very controversial. He thought he won this, Randy Blake, anyway, and he's from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Actually, Wanderlei Silva. I just wanted to correct that.
Oh, hometown kid. So he's from Tulsa. You're talking about the whole booing. I'm getting there. And so
we got nothing but time, baby.
I remember we drew cards. We drew cards to see who you fought. I'll never forget. I draw a card. My card was the ace of spades. I drew Randy Boom Boom Blake, number 1, 27-1, hometown hero. I'm like, and I remember looking to my buddy Jeff and Ryan. I'm like, well, fuck it. We came here to beat everybody. We were going to fight him regardless. Like, I'm going to be in the championship. So whether it's first or last, we have to take him out. And sure enough, man, so he's the hometown guy. I come out. Nobody knows. Oh, and by the way, let me add this story there. This is the night the Hanyak emerged. February 1st, 2013. I'm getting my hands wrapped. The guy comes over to me. I'm listening to my headphones. He's like, hey, do you have a fight nickname? I'm like, no. Put the headphones in. He walks off. He's walking out of the room. I pull out. I'm like, yo. I was like, hold on. Tonight I do. Call me the Hanyak. Just said it just like that. The Hanyak? I'm like, yeah, the Hanyak. Even my people are like, the Hanyak. I'm like, call me. Tonight I'm the Hanyak, right? I go out for that first fight. Nobody's really booing me per se, but they're cheering big for he's the hometown hero. Randy Boom Boom Blake. Yeah, it's his show. Yeah. It's his show to win. It's his 20 grand, right? And we go out there. I end up knocking him out in the third round. It was a standing knockout. The ref stopped it. I mean, he was on. I mean, the ref saved him. To put it light. Mm-hmm. And so I win and I'm fired up and people are cheering. They're like,
well, they got a good fight
because they got a good fight. They got this young kind of like, the Hanyak. They
got the fucking Hanyak.
So now, I'm like kind of easy to cheer for and like, right? So now all of his people are on my team. So when I walked out the next fight, everybody was cheering for me. And when I fought that guy, the second guy, I would beat him 100 out of 100 times. It just is what it is.
Any bumps and bruises from the first one?
Yes. So absolutely. And here's another thing about tournament fighting, man. I had what looked like a softball, a hemorrhage on my shin.
Like a hematoma type?
Like a hematoma was sticking out. I said hemorrhage. A hematoma was sticking out. And it was so sore. And I had ice on it. And when I was in the back before the second fight, I could barely stand up. Adrenaline is a hell of a drug, man. When it's go time, you don't think about anything else. You just go, and I've got countless stories about.
But you're dumping and building back up in that night.
Yes. The tournament fighting's so interesting, man. When you win a fight, you feel like the man, like the absolute man. You're on top of the world. Same thing when you lose a fight. It's the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. You hear guys say it all the time, and it's exactly what it is. And so when you win a fight, you're like, imagine a tournament. Everybody thinks the tournament fighting is hard. I actually relish in the tournament fighting because when I win, I'm like, oh, let's go again. Let's go again, baby. So you go back out there, right? That second guy I beat, I beat him 100 out of 100 times. Roy Broughton, who was an MMA guy, dropped him with a body shot. He's done. Well, I'll never forget the guy I fought in the championship. He was 19-0. He was 17-0 entering that tournament. When I got there, no one knew who I was. I was the late replacement. No one knew who the hell I was. No, but they're all kickboxing guys. They don't know MMA guys. Mm-hmm. So this guy, and when I saw him at weigh-ins, I remember I drew Randy Boom Boom Blake, and I walked to my people, and I said, and I pointed at Brian Coletti was his name, and I pointed at Brian Coletti, and I said, "That's who we got to watch out for."
Was it Colette? It's Colette, right?
I think it's Coletti, but Brian Colette,
okay.
Brian Colette.
Yeah.
And I go, "That's who we got to watch out for."
He didn't look like a fighter, though, really, to me. Wasn't he kind of soft?
No. He was definitely juiced up. And here's another thing. You know how many juiced up guys I fought in my career? He was 100% juiced up. I know for a fact, but no. He was a walking action figure specimen.
I'm confusing him with somebody else.
And now I follow him. If you follow him, because since I fought him, I followed his career. There's pictures where he looks juiced up, and there's pictures where he looks kind of average. This guy's definitely a juicer. Anyway, long story short, he had no idea who I was. When we showed up that night, he was like sitting next to me. He was like, he had his laptop. He's like, "Hey, bro, check this out." He was showing me kickboxing fights.
Of him?
Of just other fighters.
I thought he was pulling like an Arnold and pumping iron.
No, he was just but listen, the funny thing is, he had no idea he'd be fighting me in the finals. He thought for sure he came there to fight Randy Boom Boom Blake.
Well, he learned.
And they were on opposite sides. He thought 100% when he was all buddy with me, he thought Boom Boom Blake's going to walk through me, right? And little did he know I'm saying this guy we got to look out for. So he's showing me fights. He's being buddy. His first fight, he goes out there and he chicken wings the guy. So we get to the final fight, going back to the booze. When I walked out for that final fight, every single person in that auditorium was cheering for the Hanyak. They loved him. Everybody. Yeah. I won over the entire crowd. And Brian Collette, after every one of his fights, after the 2 wins, he goes, "That's my money. That's my money." And I just remember seeing that. I'm like, "Rich, that's not your money." And so we get out there, man. I just relived the story with Jeff Cox, who was in my corner, and Brian Foster was in my corner. And I remember it's a good little fight, 3-minute rounds. And I pieced him up a couple times. And I heard the 10-second clapper. And I hear Jeff Cox, my corner, he goes, and I just hit him with a pretty good shot. And Jeff yells, "Go at him. Go at him." And I came in with a big body shot. And then I came with a big body, a 2, a 3, and a 2. And it's like I was playing basketball with my hands. Every single shot hit, boom, 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 dribbled his head.
Break your hand again on the fucking table.
Dribbled his head off my gloves, and he did this little chicken wing walk and face planted straight down on the canvas. February 1st, 2013. That's my money. I won the $20K, and that's the night the Hanyak emerged. Bro.
Hanyak's coming out right now.
That story is epic, man. I kind of like these podcasts. This is stuff that people don't hear, man, but I'm taking to the grave with me. These stories are what make me stand so confident and strong. It's because when I say I've been through it to get to it, it's another thing, like the eyes on the prize. I'm not just saying it. It's got a deeper meaning to me. When I say I've been through it to get to it, when I step in the octagon, I step in there having faced every opponent I faced. I carry them on my back. When you go in there, we take pieces from each other. Mm-hmm. I literally own a piece of you and you own a piece of me. And that's another thing about fighting, man. You're leaving pieces of your body in that octagon for pure entertainment, time and time again. And I don't forget that. That does not go lightly on me. My right ankle has never been the same since the Khalil Roundtree fight. It has not, man. And we as fighters go in there for your guys' entertainment and put it all on the line. You have no idea what we go through. There's mornings I get out of bed. I told you guys I have to put these flip-flops on thanks to UFC and The Rock for these sandals. I guess it's a little plug for them. It's the one good thing they do.
We plug everybody in this show.
But I'm telling you, like when I get out of bed in the morning, my shit aches. Like I got to put these on so they don't hurt. And you leave pieces in there, man. And that piece of dribbling his head off my gloves, when I fight, I think of those fights. Yeah. I take a piece of him. And, man, it helps me get through the next battle. Dude.